If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's start this weekend off right. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. What's going on, man? Happy Friday. We are back to the weekend. Appreciate y'all for pulling up on me, man. You know, we start out every show with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well, GMS fam. If you are here, tap into the live chat. Let me know you are in here. Shout out where you from, what city you repping. Shout out to Areas, baby. G. Will, Stumbling 45, Stiller Lee, Glittery Bubbles, Sanaa is in the building. My guy King Cartel is in the building. Ty Ward is here. Rob Justice is here. Tap in, GMS fam. Tap in. Go ahead and hit that like button. And also, share this live, man. I'm not going to be here long, man. So share this live right now. Hit that share button. Post it up on your socials. Send it through your text messages. Let your people know that we are live. Come over and kick it with us while we are here. I told you, I'm not going to be here very long. We got some things to talk about, man. So I want y'all to tap in with us. I need y'all opinion on some things, man. You know, it's not just me talking at a screen, man. It's all of our opinions, man. This is what the GMS show is about. It's not just me. It's all of us. GMS fam, we got some things to discuss. All right. First and foremost, before I get to anything else, I have to just make this announcement because it happened, and we are seeing it happen live in front of our faces. R. Kelly was sentenced to an additional 20 years in prison for child pornography and enticement of minors. He will serve all but one of those simultaneously with an existing 30-year sentence. So we have gotten to the point where you see the different opinions come around about how people feel about R. Kelly and how things are transpiring. But it's also in the same day, Harvey Weinstein was sentenced to, I think he got 30 or something around that area, 20 or 30 years. Regardless, Harvey is going to probably most likely perish in prison. So they hit him with a double whammy. And I want to know what y'all think about how this played out, man, because one thing that kills me about how this is going is that they treated the child part less than the racketeering. like, if anything, this sentencing shows you that they actually don't care about kids or minors or whatever it is that minors go through when it comes to, predators. R. Kelly didn't get most his time based off of the things he did with children. He got it off of racketeering, which, in that sense, that's a toss up whether or not that was a real thing. Racketeering, holy, I don't know. I can't say if I really believe or not that he was part of any type of racketeering bullshit, but I was expecting that these charges and the sentence would come down mostly because of the fact that they cared about what happened with the kids, but clearly they didn't. And speaking of Harvey Weinstein's case, it was interesting to hear the things he had to say in court when they were handing down his sentence. He was saying that he didn't know Jane Doe 1. Now, I'm only repeating the transcript, okay? So don't take this as me picking sides or whatever the case may be. I'm just reading. I'm just telling you what was in the transcript. Harvey Weinstein was saying that he did not know Jane Doe, number one. He's never met her and she doesn't know him, and that it was only a money grab for her. But nonetheless, that situation cost him 30 years in prison, which brings up questions about a lot of instances, because not to say that these guys aren't creeps, but brings up, are people just charging people with certain things so that they can get them up out of here due to public outrage, or because they know that it could probably fuck them up? Like, it starts to make me wonder, what does R. Kelly, what does Harvey Weinstein, what do those people know about anybody in a higher position? What intel or what information do they have about certain people in higher positions that brought them to get these type of charges on it? It's starting to bring up questions for me, and I don't know how to really feel about it. But nonetheless, man, if they did what we assume they did, or what's being proven in court that they did, then I guess whatever comes their way comes their way. But nonetheless, man, R. Kelly, once an R&B legend, now turned to just, think about this guy's legacy, bro. Think about the legacy of R. Kelly and what that left for the people that came up in that era. Think about how diminished it is, how crumbled it is. This man is most likely going to spend the rest of his time in prison singing his greatest hits behind bars. Think about that. You done came out with some of the greatest songs of all time. You done wrote some of the greatest songs of all time for some of the greatest artists of all time. And this is how your life ended up. Which also goes to show that everybody's fucking weird, man. Just because you're somebody that's in the limelight and you're famous and you're doing X, Y, and Z does not mean you're not a fucking weirdo, and that you don't have weird shit about you. A lot of people put on characters because they need to put on a character. They need to put up a facade when they're out and when they're famous and when they have a lot of notoriety. That's why it shocks a lot of people when they find out motherfuckers be doing weird shit like regular individuals. Yeah, you a weirdo, just like that nigga down the street is a weirdo. But again, he didn't get the most of his charges from being a weirdo. He got it for racketeering, which, like I said, that's a toss up. But neither that's something I wanted to get said and done with. I don't want to stay on R. Kelly. We done talked about R. Kelly way too much. What I want to talk about, and what I want to get to, and what I want to digest, is this video right here of this man named Scott Adams. He is a cartoonist. He is the creator of the show Dilbert. I don't know if y'all remember that show. It was a cartoon back in the day called Dilbert. So this really weird character who goes to work in his cubicle every day and it's just a bunch of weird shit. But anyway, he decided that he was gonna listen to a poll. He had a poll that came up apparently that dealt with black people, talking about should white people be ashamed to be white? And 51 or 52% of black people said yes. I think like 30 something or 20 something said no, and then like the other percentage was like maybe. And he took that poll. Now, remind you, this is a poll who we don't know who actually took the poll. We don't know if the poll is real. We don't know how many black people participated in this poll. All we know is that it's just claiming that this is a poll that says all black people in America say this about white people. So this guy decided he was going to take that information and use it on a platform to say this to all of his white followers. Listen to this.
So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group.
That's a hate group. Okay.
And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away.
It's crazy how that, like, just that opening line, the first 30 seconds of this video, how contradicting it is, because it's almost like they forgot what happened in this country. It's almost like they forgot. And that black people just are inherently just dangerous, violent, and just hate white people. I mean, it gets worse as you keep going. Listen to this.
Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. All right, this can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population. Because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way.
Don Lemon. First of all, you're talking about moving away from black people. First of all, white neighborhoods and black neighborhoods were something before you had this idea that all black people hated white people. Do you remember times in like segregation, even in slavery? These are things that have happened over the years where white people have always felt this way about black people, even when they had the ultimate control, even when they created all the laws that kept pushing us, the Jim Crow laws, man. I was just watching this video with Chris Rock talking about Jim Crow and all the different random laws that they had that were against black people, and we sit up here and act like this current day and age of black people is just so horrible, like they have anything, like they can compare to any amount of what slavery was. Somehow we have people like Scott Adams, Mr. Dilbert Dickhead, trying to demonize black people in this country. And it's crazy because I'm going to play more of this. It's like, it wasn't even a whole 3-4 months ago when all we could hear was dangerous and harmful rhetoric towards the Jewish community because of what comments Kanye made or what link Kyrie posted. But this motherfucker's telling all white people to stay away from all black people. Where is the ADL? Where is the donations to the black organizations? Where is the meetings with black organizers and black leaders? Where is the dangerous and harmful rhetoric when it comes to him saying this about all black people? Crazy,
here
right?
I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live.
And it's crazy because these are the same people that use black people, like they said, like he just said, let me use the instance of another black person leaving a black neighborhood to go live around other white people to validate my racism because I'm a fucking racist dickhead.
So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm going to back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist.
You know what's hilarious about that? Can I ask y'all a question? My fellow black Americans and non-Americans in the chat. When has a white person ever helped you in life and you turn around and was like, thank you, you racist piece of shit? That don't even make sense what he just said. I have been helping black people my whole life, and all I get in return is them calling me racist. Well, what the fuck type of racist shit were you doing, dumb motherfucker? Why were they calling you that? If it sounds like a duck, motherfucker, you just exposed your own self. You told on yourself. If all you getting is people calling you racist, what type of racist shit have you been doing? And what do you think helping the black community looks like? Or what did you actually think you did to help the black community? I want to know. Will somebody please look up what Scott Adams did for the black community? Because they will love to say some bullshit like that, but actually don't say what it is that they did. You've been helping black people apparently your whole life. You can come up with at least one instance of how you did that. But all you came up with is the fact that you were getting replies that you were racist. Let me go back just a little bit more, just so you can hear something.
To help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse.
White people shouldn't help black people because a poll that you read said that 51% of black people said that white people should be ashamed to be white in America. Because of that is white, fragile heart. That's a weak, bitch-made heart that a lot of racist, prejudiced, bigoted motherfuckers carry with them because they know that it's a fact. When you are a racist individual, you cannot escape it. At some point, it's going to crawl up out of you. You can't hold it in no more. All that fake. Imagine somebody saying that they spent their whole life trying to help black people, only to turn around to try to convince white people not to be around black people ever again. You tell me that's not a person that feels in their heart already what they've been feeling for so long, for so many years. This is already something that has already been set in his mind. I want y'all to hear the rest of this, man.
I'm gonna back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. Totally not trying.
He still hasn't said why, if you haven't noticed.
And there we go. You didn't expect that today, did you? But those who don't want to focus on education, you just need to get away from them. Just get as much distance as you can. That's my recommendation. And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of black Americans beating up non-black citizens. I realize it's anecdotal, and it doesn't give me a full picture of what's happening. But every damn day I look on social media and there's some black person beating the shit out of some white person. I'm kind of over it.
You know what's funny about that statement right there is that, once again, old dumb Dilbert dickhead decided to expose himself because we have something called algorithms. And what you are most interested in, what you like the most, what you watch the most is what ends up on your timeline. Correct? Or am I lying? This guy just exposed the fact that he has been corrupted by the internet to hate black people. his algorithms, and because of what he's liking and what he's choosing to give energy to on the internet, it's coercing him into having this opinion about black people. Not just that, but on top of him being racist already, he's just looking at shit to validate his racism. Because, I mean, he can say that all he does is see black people beating the shit out of white people on the internet. But what do we see on the internet? What do black people see on the regular on the internet? On top of black people fighting other black people, all we see is instances and examples of racism every single day. Not to mention the simple fact that you sit here and be this is like I don't know how many numbered person who has sat here and tried to make it seem like black people have just been so violent towards white people. Meanwhile, they just sentenced the guy who walked into that grocery store and killed a bunch of black people for no reason and live streamed it. Literally, a white man standing up in the courtroom saying, I killed people because they were black. Now, I'm not here to call which wrong right, but I'm pretty sure most people will take a couple lumps to the face than actually a bullet to the head. And I'm not calling on racial violence. I'm not calling on black people to do this and that to white people. All I'm saying is racist individuals like this guy get to pick and choose what he wants to use as examples as to why he doesn't want to mess with black people or be around black people, instead of just coming out outright and saying, hey, I'm a racist dickhead. These type of people actually probably believe that there's actually no racism going on in this country. We have had multiple racist attacks on black people, mass shootings, all types of shit in the past 3 years. Yet nobody uses those as examples when they try to speak on black people as a whole in the community and talk about them and what happens between black people and white people. Almost like they feel like these people are justified. See, I just seen a video the other day of this dude walking up to this mixed couple. I don't know if y'all seen it. It was this black dude and this white girl. And this I don't know who it was, but it was some random white dude who just was so confident enough to walk up on this couple and start talking about the fact that she's ruining her lineage or ruining her DNA and all types of shit by mixing race and all. He literally followed these people down, and it took, of course, another white dude to walk up and try to defend the situation, because if the black dude would have started wailing and punching on this motherfucker, he would have went to jail instead of the dude that walked up harassing them for no reason. See, in this moment, let me also teach y'all, because I don't know if y'all seen it. I don't know if I could find the fucking video, but in that instance, man, say you start thinking to yourself, some random white dude walks up to you, starts saying a bunch of racist shit because they pay attention to the laws, or they think they pay attention to the laws more than you do. So they feel like, well, it's free speech. I can say what I want, but if this Negro hits me, I can press charges and make him go to jail. So it'll be a double whammy. I get to say all the racist shit I want to, and on top of that, he gets to go to jail because I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch-ass racist motherfucker. So this is what you got to do in those situations. If a white man walks up to you, if anybody walks up to you and starts saying anything out of pocket, out of line, racist, whatever, you, and especially if they have their camera out, be very verbal about how you feel in that moment. If somebody walks up to you and says something unwanted or whatever the case may be, first thing you need to say is, hey, I don't feel comfortable. I feel threatened. I don't know you. You just walked up on me out of nowhere. I don't know what you got. I don't know what your intentions are, but I'm ready to defend myself as we speak right now in this moment. And if the dumbass continues to proceed to say anything, if you start walking away and they start approaching you, that is when you get to knock a motherfucker out. I promise you, you will not catch charges. You don't know that motherfucker. He's never met you. And as far as you are concerned, this is a threat to your life. Not only a threat to your life, but it seems racially motivated. And hate crimes happen. It's a real thing. A hate crime is a real thing. And if I feel like you're going to commit a hate crime on me, whether or not you are a small, dainty little YouTuber or somebody out here actually trying to look for some action, I'm going to take it as such. The race bait does not succeed over here. You will have a hand in your motherfucking face. It's that simple. But this guy, this is what throws me off about this type of shit, because like I said, we have this type of stuff happen to us all the time, but nobody ever takes it to the level of where they would take anything else with any other group. It's all you would hear about when it comes to this community over here, that community over here. If one person says something or did something, there's a whole uproar about it. All media outlets are picking it up. Everybody's commenting on it and saying something about it. This has been being, it's like nobody wants to bring this up. It's like nobody wants to talk about this shit. I don't understand why. This is blatant racism for a guy who clearly has a position in Hollywood or a position in somewhere in a high position, who works with several individuals, but also probably understands that the black individuals he work with don't have the same rank as he would or his counterparts. They get very comfortable in this. I'm pretty sure somebody who he works with or one of his peers cannot go on the internet and talk about all white people like this without repercussions. Regardless if they feel he's right or wrong, it just wouldn't happen. And also, just to play devil's advocate, white devil's advocate, as Charlemagne would say, some of this does land on us, because when we get a little bit of money or when we get an opportunity to leave the hood, we leave, and then we don't come back, or we don't try to do anything to try to fix it or try to fix our surroundings. And that's what breeds some of the mentality that guys like this have, which is why they can use people like Don Lemon as an excuse to validate their racism. There's a lot of guys that they use out here to try to validate race. What's the big motherfucker? What's the big butterbean ass nigga, man? What is his name? Jason Whitlock. They use Jason Whitlock. They use Candace Owens. They use who was the two ladies that was running around with Trump? One of them just died recently. Oh, goofy ass. I wish I would. Now let me tell you, that's one of the worst ways to go out. Motherfucker went out being a diehard Trump advocate, pushing her and making a fool of yourself for $1. And then died, and then had your homegirl sit up there talking about the vaccine instead of just talking about the fact that you just wasn't taking care of yourself. Yeah, Diamond and Silk. Sickly looking bitches, and still sat up there and tried to talk about the vaccine as a look, man, it ain't the vax, it's you. It's you. Y'all worked yourselves to death trying to support Donald Trump. Look at you, your health declined. You ain't even worried. That's what people don't even think about. Trump was pulling Diamond and Silk left and right, making them old motherfuckers work the bone off their fingers, trying to promote that man and stand by that man's side, and she got sick. If Trump wouldn't have showed up to that funeral, man, I'm telling y'all, that would have been the funniest shit in the world to me. I'm like, see, the perfect example of why you motherfuckers shouldn't go so hard with these people. That's the shit that fucks me up. But see, going back to this conversation of what happens in certain areas, I do feel some type of way when people do leave a certain area, but I also understand it because it's gotten so toxic to the point where even if somebody did come back to try to do something, somebody gonna hate on this, somebody gonna try to stop it. A lot of people that come back to the same places that they grew up at to try to do something different and try to build something better end up getting killed or some type of way. We just heard about Nipsey's killer getting 60 years to life. Nipsey building stores and building a whole plaza and making sure that people have a way to make business and a way to do something else other than the random street shit that they getting involved in, then you have somebody come through and do some fuck shit like that and fuck up the whole ecosystem. Now you setting us back another 10, 20 years. Because now the next person don't want to come and try to build something in that area because guess what? You got niggas like Eric Holder out here who don't want to see nobody prosper, who don't want to see nobody prevail. That's one thing. Like, and let me just say this shit because this is for us, man. We could talk about this shit, not them niggas. We have this hold each other back mentality that keeps us stagnant. One person doing something, it's doing well, they succeed, and another person feels envy or feels like, man, that person shouldn't be able to do that, or I should have this, I should have that, and build this envy and build this hate for somebody when the whole time uplifting each other has been the only thing that has made us stronger over the years. Standing by each other's side has been the one thing that has kept us going over the years, the things that we can relate to. Black people being able to come together in different ways and being able to not just, be in one accord, but to build together, build businesses, make money together. You know what I'm saying? Be able to, build in a way where people can take ideas or give ideas to one another or collaborate with each other and make sure that one person gets up this way. It's crazy to me to see people with big platforms or people with opportunities out here not being able to feel comfortable enough to go to their brothers or go to their sisters and be like, here, I want to give you this opportunity, or here, I want to put you on my team. Or even when it comes to black businesses, we have this preconceived notion that, off top, black businesses aren't going to be up to par, or they're not going to have the things that we want them to have, or they're not going to be professional, or they're not going to be this and that. We have these things where it blocks us from trusting one another, and we need to build that trust with each other. And it's not because it's not valid. That's another fucked up part about it. It's not that it's not valid, because these are real things that black people go through. And I see, Lil Duval, I think it was Duval, talking about black-owned businesses and him giving people chances, and then him being like, no, I'm not doing this shit no more until y'all get shit right. That's because he has went through it. We have to stop expecting things from one another and start actually trying to uplift each other in a different way. If I want you to respect my place of business, I have to hold it to the same respect I want people to hold with my shit. I can't have my shit looking any kind of way. I can't have my business out here in shambles. I can't treat you any kind of way just because you black. I can't expect you to feel the same way that I feel, or to talk the same way that I talk, or react the same way that I react just because you black. We have to uphold each other to a different standard. We have to value each other in a different way. And that's right, PTSD. A lot of people, that's another thing. A lot of us have a lot of trauma that we haven't dealt with yet. And then it's like reoccurring trauma too when it comes to like the racial shit. Like that shit with what that Scott Adams dude said, that is triggering to a lot of people, because it's like, how do you not understand how this country was formulated? How do you not understand what this country is built off of? How do you not understand racism still existing today, to the point where you feel so comfortable to just shit on all black people that way, and then just go on camera, say it, you being in the position that you are, and just not giving a fuck? Like, that's how comfortable it is in this country. All skin folk ain't kin folk. That's true. I always talk about that as well, man. I always talk about the people that we cannot take with us on this journey of becoming better people. You know what I'm saying? Things got different for me over the past couple years when I started realizing that there's people out here that we cannot change. There's people out here that we can't get on one accord with, to be like, yeah, we need to be better, or we need to do better, or we need to change the content and the music. We need to change what we see on the daily on the social media platforms. We need to be encouraging kids more often to do positive shit instead of reinforcing the same negative stereotypes that have kept us down for centuries. I hate the fact that that doesn't sound cool. How does something so positive, something that will be so uplifting, and something that will be so beneficial to us as an entire community sound corny or sound weird or sound like not cool? The same shit that a lot of people promote in the culture is the same shit that they try to sit up there and be sad about when it comes and it hits close to home. Until one of your own dies from gunshot wounds or somebody dies from overdosing or whatever the case may be, then people want to try to turn shit around and try to want to revamp or rebrand themselves. This already should be the mentality when you step into some shit. Like right now, the hot topic, the topic of conversation surrounding in the culture right now is snitching. Why do people care about snitching so much? Why is snitching such a huge topic of conversation where it's overshadowing the most important parts of our culture, which is the music, which is the actual culture of it all, which is the, creativity. We overshadow all of that with this random bullshit that we give a fuck about that we shouldn't. And let's be honest, most people don't even live by street rules. Even the niggas that claim to be street people, they don't even live by that shit. It's gotten so bad. I just talked about it the other day, man. DJ Vlad curated this whole shit with T.I. and Boosie. He curated the whole shit. He tries to hide behind I just asked the questions and, they have a choice to answer it or not. You ask the questions because you hope that they answer this shit and you hope that you get some fucking sensationalized fucking clip out of it so you can monetize and hopefully start some beef to surround your channel and get you more subscribers, get you more hits, which turns into money. You have a choice as well. That's the crazy part about it. When I hear people use that excuse, well, they have a choice to answer it. No, he has a choice to ask that question or not. You have an entire choice, man. And you will be a dumb individual to think that Vlad doesn't know the things that he does and the questions that he asks aren't detrimental or don't cause any type of friction between people. Shout out to my guy CDT Beats, man, for becoming a GMS Level 2 member. You can become a member by hitting that join button below the video as you see. Appreciate you, bro. We finna come up with some shit soon, man. We want to have a beat battle, so I hope, when we put that together and we curate that y'all pull up for that. It's gonna be real nice, man. CDT is really nice with the instrumentals, man, and we gonna pop up one day with y'all and do a beat battle, man. So hopefully y'all tune in for that shit, man. Shout out to CDT Beats. Now, this is a post that T.I. made showing his paperwork with the county or with the court of Fulton County, the Superior Court of Fulton County, in the state of Georgia. It says, FYI, can't nobody who got their name in other people's paperwork question me about mine. I got it on me. We can have a paperwork party, pull up or shut up. Well, this is that ignorant shit. This is that ignorant shit that I just don't like. You got somebody like T.I. who most definitely should be considered a legend in our culture, having to show off paperwork for some shit that I honestly do not even care about. I mean, what are we even paying attention to? What do we really care about when it comes to what T.I. did in his paperwork if the reason why we fuck with T.I. in the first place is off the music? That's the biggest question to me. How many of y'all became a T.I. because y'all found out he was a street nigga? Or did y'all become a fan of T.I. because y'all thought he made dope music? Answer that question for me first. And if your first answer was the fact that you love this guy's music, then why are we caring about paperwork? Why are we caring about what happened in some street shit? I thought the whole point was to try to get away from that shit. We have been so contradictory in our message that people still care about shit that doesn't matter. He said, GMS, please tell me you saw the breakdown of his paperwork. I mean, I don't think what was there to break down? I mean, I would love to know what we needed to break down from it, but I mean, what information will we leave with? I mean, would that make us like him more as an artist or a person, or would it destroy? I mean, what is it? Nah, I'm a fan of the music, but to be fair, the street credibility helped. Remember, he fired on Lil. Yeah, I remember. Me and my homeboy was just talking about that. See, that's another thing. What makes what happened not real? Like, this is another thing. When I talked about the situation with Academics and Freddie Gibbs, Academics was trying his hardest to try to convince people that Freddie wasn't a street nigga, Freddie didn't do this and that. But in the same breath, the same people that praise certain street niggas for really being out there, really taking fades and really doing this shit, was out there saying, oh, Freddie getting punched on and Freddie doing, like, the man wasn't getting jumped. Like, and here's the thing, like, the street code of it all really, it really means nothing when it comes down to these guys, their ability to withstand a career in music. Because I mean, to be honest, after that situation with Freddie and Jim Jones, Freddie and Benny the Butcher, can y'all tell me what Jim Jones or Benny the Butcher have done since then, music-wise? I can tell you that Freddie has been nominated for a Grammy since then. So what are we really talking about? We have gotten so far away from the music that the only thing a lot of people care about is the street antics and the street bullshit. I don't know, man. I want to know what I mean, help me understand what I'm going to learn from that situation. I've talked about this before, man, of how people will invest so much in other people's lives and what other people do that they don't even pay attention to what happens at home. And I brought this up with many instances, and it always happens with people's kids. You can tell when people neglect or when people really aren't present in their kids' life the way that they should be. You know, we talked about Jay Prince and how he was so involved and so vocal about, you know, how Offset feels about his family getting killed and always having words for other people. Then we turn around and see a video of his daughter abusing his grandchild in a crib. It's like, shouldn't you be trying to handle that situation? Shouldn't you be trying to rectify that? Shouldn't you be trying to... Now we see Boosie, right? Boosie had to open up about accepting his daughter, Poison Ivy, that's her name, Poison Ivy, after she came out as lesbian. Listen to what he had to say.
Respect for her family and everything for what she does. You know, so her coming out at this age that's the time you supposed to, that's when you know what you want.
How old is she?
Finna be 22.
Okay.
That's what you know what you want. You know, and even though it won't be accepted as far as, because I don't want nobody in my other family to think it's okay. But what she does, we're gonna love her to death. We're gonna love her, you know, we're gonna love her to death.
Now, if you paid attention to what he said his daughter's grown. She's 22. She knows that that's the age when you know what you want to do. Now, the contradictory that comes with this is regardless if you like Lil Nas X or not, Lil Nas X is 23-year-old grown ass man. And the whole thing with him and Boosie had to do with how much out there Lil Nas X was about him being gay. But he's in his 20s. He's at the age where Boosie, you just said, he's grown enough to know what the fuck he wants to do with his life. Do you see what I mean? People need to have the same grace for other people that they would want for themselves and their own family. It makes no sense to me. That right there to me is weird. And it's crazy. I didn't even know his daughter was a lesbian. It's something that he probably wanted to keep under wraps because of how much he's been so vocal about other people and their sexuality. Which is why a lot of niggas should shut the fuck up talking about certain shit that has nothing to do with them. Because at the end of the day, it's a lose-lose situation, especially depending on what era you're in. If you're in the era of cancel culture and people immediately labeling you anti-LGBTQ and anti-this and that, it's a lose-lose situation for you. And I'm pretty sure you're better off dealing with your own personal family situation than having to talk about somebody else. And speaking of that, man, you know who wasn't better off? Adidas. And it is being going through the headlines right now that Adidas wants Kanye back. You want to know why? Because they didn't really give a fuck about any of that quote-unquote anti-Semitic shit. They only care about the dollars. And they was losing billions of dollars. What does Trump say? Billions and billions and billions of dollars. After they dropped Ye. So much that they had to swallow their pride, pause, and say, Ye, we need you back. Think about that. All this stuff happened between Yeezy and Adidas, and they want him back. How do you conclude that? What do y'all think is gonna happen from that? Because right now, and it's crazy because I mentioned the ADL earlier. You know, I don't see the ADL speaking on Scott Adams while he's trying to tell all white people to stay away from all black people. The ADL's out here, of course, putting blame on Kanye because of all the anti-Semitic hate crimes happening across the country at the hands of white people. I'm seeing it. Multiple videos of white people antagonizing and berating Jewish people on the street. And now that I'm thinking about it, what better way, because it's been happening for centuries, what better way than to escape accountability than to put Kanye in the forefront of it. Meanwhile, while that nigga's somewhere working on new homeless clothes and boots for society. You think Kanye's out there with a sign talking about Jews, blah, 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 this and that? No. The narrative that surrounded what Kanye was saying was enough for these people to pick up and use as some type of shield so that they won't be put in the forefront as people actually going out here committing hate crimes and just leaving the blame for Kanye. Like, yeah, you know, Kanye made us do it. Go around with Ye was right signs so that people won't actually look at the person holding the sign. And it's easier when it's a black face. Crazy, huh? Crazy how this thing happens. And look, to be honest, I hope Kanye gets the bag too. I hope he gets. I hope he milks as much money as he can from Adidas, just based off the fact that they thought they could do that. They thought they was bigger than the actual brand that's been holding them together. Think about that. That's how little they think of us, even though we hold them up. That's like the perfect example of America and black people. Black people putting in the legwork, putting in all the fucking hard blood work, blood, sweat, and tears. and then thinking that you can just do without us, or that you can just run off to the side and just separate yourselves from us and that'll make everything better. Nah, it won't. You uncultured swines. Now, GMS fam, the green room. I want to see y'all tonight at the 3Gs podcast, man. We going live on 3Gs tonight at 8 o'clock. Don't miss it. Shout out to my guy, AP. Shout out to Pac G. Shout out to my 3Gs fam. Tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. The preview is up, man. So if y'all know the 3Gs channel, go to the 3Gs channel right now. Hit that like button for me, man. I want to see y'all hit that like button on the 3Gs channel and right here. Follow me on my socials. I'll follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App today if you are feeling generous. Most appreciated, son. Y'all know what time it is. Do me a favor and leave a comment on this video when the live is over. GMS is in the chat all day. New Beat album is out right now on Bandcamp. GMS episode 6. You can find it on Bandcamp by typing in Black GMS, BLACKKGMS. All one word on Bandcamp. Absolutely free. Download it for free. Listen for free. Show some love. Yeah, send that shit, please. I need to see. I'm about to put the link in the chat right now. I need y'all to go play this shit, man. As soon as you can, go play this shit. I'm posting the link right now. Tap the link. Tap the link. That link that I just posted. Tap that link, man. Go listen to that GMS episode 6. Go download it. Go play it through the house. It's the weekend. Go have yourself some fun. Rejoice a little bit, man. You made it. You made it. You deserve it. You worked hard. It's time to kick back, relax, do what you do, man. GMS fam, the green room, one love, man. I'll see y'all tonight on 3Gs. Much love. Do your due diligence, like all the shits, follows the shits, cash apps the shits if you feel like it. Who gives a fuck? I still love you niggas anyway. GMS fam, the green room, we out.